Good afternoon. Don Huffmeister here again. I'd like to talk a little bit about the center of the two books, the meat of the two books, that is the technique and the warm-up sections of the elementary and the intermediate book. In order to do that, I thought it might be worthwhile to take the very first exercise and just play it on a clarinet so you can see what I'm getting at. So if we want to improve the sound of our bands, we just have them play long tones. Well, most young students aren't going to cater much to wanting to play a long tone, but you can get them to play a little exercise like that. And in that sense, since there were 5 notes there, they played a long tone about 5 counts long. And as a few weeks move along and their ability to handle the instrument is a little better, if you want to increase that some, you just have them take the repeat on it, and then they play the equivalent of a whole note about 9 counts long. Doing that through the simple exercises that are in the book will just plain increase the quality of the sounds that the kids get. Usually when I start out with them like that, what I have them do first is I have them just blow air between the reed and the mouthpiece without making a sound, like so. I want them to get the idea, to actually feel experientially what it's like to have that air moving through the instrument. Then all they do is they firm up the embouchure a little bit, blow the air until the sound comes out, and presto, they have a pretty decent sound on the instrument. Those exercises then can be helpful that way. All of the exercises in the book are that way really, or can be played that way. They get a little more difficult as we go along in each key, but they're doable. And the exercises are much like the ones you'd find in Closet's clarinet book. They're just simple ones, and I think they're even named in his book tone and finger exercises. He knew what would be necessary to improve the quality of the instrument, and most master methods have that same sort of thing in them. So you're just laying the groundwork and the fundamentals for that sort of thing. The other thing is you could take an exercise like that first one, and you could play it just with a rhythm pattern. Now I know I didn't play the exercise, but I gave you the rhythm pattern. If you take the rhythm pattern that I just played and you repeat that with the whole band and you're giving them examples of exactly what you want it to sound like, they'll pretty much imitate it that way and reproduce it that way. Then when you get to a tune where that's actually in it, that rhythm pattern and a couple more, and they go to play it, it'll sound pretty much in the character of that, whatever that piece is. In this particular case, if you were to go to my website, huffmeistermusic.net, and click on the tunes there, you'll see one marked Beginner's Polka. Believe me, it's the simplest polka you can probably imagine written out. But to get the thing to sound actually like a polka, the way it might be played in a polka band for a dance, that's another matter to do that with an elementary band. The way I did it is I took little exercises like this and played them with those rhythm patterns, so that they were feeling comfortable with them. And then when they actually got to the tune, it came out really pretty easily and pretty well. And I think you will agree that they got the character of what I was looking for, so that it wasn't just something that you kind of endured when you went to hear the band play in the springtime. Okay, I think that's probably enough on this idea. I gave you a couple of ideas of how I go about using the materials in the elementary and the intermediate book. I'll sign off for now. The next one will give you some other ideas like that. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate it very much. Don Huffmeister here.